Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm sorry. A little bit of Grand Central Station. I got a 1 o'clock meeting with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh,
and a
wow.
meeting with Amir Johnson, who played for the Sixers, who's now going back into the league.
Yeah.
So we're a hot commodity. Everyone's coming up with positive COVID tests, and
Right.
patch we manufacture offsets boosts your immune system. And if you have a strong immune system without patch, you may not even show symptoms. But if God forbid you do get symptoms, this will help keep the symptoms at bay. One of the best things I could explain, and if you ever saw a movie called Wolf with Jack Nicholson, he wears the charm and he doesn't turn into a wolf until he rips the charm off to save Michelle Pfeiffer. But that's what it is. This is like, I actually have one about patches for Julian Wright, who played for Kansas. He's running a basketball clinic.
Okay,
And,
I see it.
so that's his basketball clinic patch. All the people who attend his clinics, they get this patch. We're a partner of his. And you just, you put the patch on.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Can you move the screen a little bit lower so I can see?
let me see. Do you see that?
There you go. Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Yeah, so that's vitamin B1 is now going to start going to my system within about 15, 20 minutes, and it'll go from head to toe. And I wear one every day, and I'll feel better, and I have a great immune system. But for athletes, it's a must-have, and certainly, we do a lot for the general public as well.
There you go. Any chance you can move the camera down? I see half of your head. There you go. That's better.
How's that?
Perfect. I can see. Well, so yeah, I mean, let's get into this. So, I was fascinated hearing about the patch, and how did you come up with this? What was the initial? I'm curious. What was the start of it, the inception of this idea to even bring it about?
Well, that's a great question. I appreciate it. The first thing we have to talk about is the ingredient, vitamin B1, because my first introduction was to the vitamin. So I played Division I basketball for Hofstra University, and I had a really great career in New York, a Severian, where Chris Mullin played, and a powerhouse every year. So won a couple state championships, and when I went to Hofstra, I was expecting to continue a productive career, and found myself at the end of the bench. Now, when I played in the 80s, it just so happened that the New York Knicks also utilized Hofstra, as did the Jets, actually, for their training facilities. Now they have their own. And the Jets and the Knicks both used Hofstra's facilities. And one of the things that was very fortunate for me was, as we were coming off our practice, Hubie Brown and Bernard King and all the Knicks were getting taped up and going in. Now, nothing against my trainers. I had, great trainers. I loved them all. But they obviously weren't wrapping, $1 million athletes' ankles. And back then, even though today's very specialized with nutritionists and chefs, back then the guy who wrapped your ankles was the guy who gave you a workout, was the guy who gave you your nutritional diet. So in the season, I said to one of the Knicks trainers, I think his name was Michael. I said, Michael, I see Walter Payton going up and down. He said, what can you give me I really want to play next year. I want to work out like a maniac. And he said, load your body up with vitamin B1, all natural, quicker recovery, body absorbs it well. And he just started telling me about it. And, that everyone knows the Joe Weider powders, so I saw, I read all the ingredients, and it's got 1,000 things in it that I don't need. I'm not a bodybuilder. And most people need, quite frankly, it's more marketing than anything else. But I did notice 1,000 milligrams or 500 milligrams of thiamine, which is a technical name for B1. And sure enough, I just started taking these drinks every day. I did find better workouts. I certainly, felt myself improve physically. And by my junior year, I cracked the starting lineup, which a lot of people were surprised. And, so I became a believer in that. Fast forward, after my career, I became a coach at NYU. And the coaches there, she's now actually the assistant athletic director and in the Hall of Fame, Janice Quinn, she came to me about a transdermal application. And when I saw thiamine B1 water soluble, this transdermal process, I kind of put the two together. I had a marketing background. We started putting logos on the patches, turning people into mini billboards. Obviously, playing with Chris Mullin, knew Coach Pitino, know Pepper Johnson from the Giants. I had some sports connections. We started, just getting the patches out on, hey, would you do us a favor? Try this out, see how you feel. And sure enough, it's like, hey, listen, I played better. I feel better. The first question, which is the obvious one, is this allowed? Is this legal? I feel really good. Steroids aren't allowed. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
We said all natural. Thiamine, I actually started going to the website and showing people on both WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, and USADA, United States Anti-Doping Agency, that thiamine is on the approved list. And once I was able to demonstrate, then we went FDA lab reports, started showing them the lab reports so that we weren't saying it was one thing, but actually putting something else in it behind their back. Once we were able to establish trust and reputation, which we're 8 years in now, millions distributed worldwide, have over 200 pro athletes wearing the patches, Devin McCourty, Josh Allen, Jerry Hughes, Anthony Lynn of the Chargers, head coach and part of our board of directors, a shareholder. It's just been a whirlwind. And just about now, even though we're kind of out there, we're just about now to really be out there. And it's an exciting time for us, no doubt about it.
Yeah. How did you kind of this is a long process. I mean, you've been working on this or researching it out for decades now. It seems like
a long time.
Yeah. From the sound of it. I mean, we're going back in time here. What about this time now that this is now finally really getting out there and making that boom? And was this just the right timing, or is this finally you have everything perfected and ready to go? What about this time now that we're finally hearing about after all these years?
It's really a great question. And sometimes it's a little bit of serendipity. Not that I would ever want to call a pandemic luck, because just being a parent and a concerned citizen, and a fellow neighbor, I don't want to see anyone struggle. But the immune system is what every single doctor, until we have a bona fide vaccine, is advocating. And this is going back from when it first started, with Dr. Fauci doing the press, White House press conferences. We actually have a clip of that on our website, where he was saying, listen, until we have a vaccine, and you're doing social distancing and those protocols, your immune system is going to make you vulnerable if you don't pay attention to it. Here are the things that we can actually say scientifically. You're going to get a lot of stuff marketed to you, but here's what we can say scientifically, boost your immune system and benefits your cognitive and all those things, the heart, your breathing. And lo and behold, thiamine was like at the top of the list, So you factor that in with now we have all the athletes, because again, we didn't just overnight have 200 athletes. Our first athlete was, Pepper Johnson, who was a retired athlete coaching with the Jets. He got the patches on Leo Williams. Leo Williams took a picture wearing them against the Bengals. Now we have a great picture of Leo Williams in the Jets uniform. And it just continued to go and go and go. And then James Hinchcliffe in IndyCar and boxers. So it's really kind of a meeting of a lot of things, where also when you're putting something on somebody's body, what's going in my body? You have to earn that trust. You have to earn that respect. Obviously, I have something to sell. So me saying, no, go ahead, it's safe. I have an agenda, right? So someone's not going to trust that. But when they see athletes who have a lot to lose and who have a lot to at their disposal, trainers and advice and medical opinions, and they see them wearing it and then advocating it, tweeting about it, Instagramming it, and then you have the scientists coming out and say, you need thiamine. All of these things have kind of met up at this moment in time to really put us at a stepping stone to go next level. I mean, we're talking with airlines now about them putting directly to the airlines, about them putting patches on flights so that when you walk on a plane, let's say Delta, you get a bottle of water, you get some cookies, and you get the Purell wipes. One of our patches would now be in there. And that's exciting for us because obviously tremendous distribution, and then anyone who wants the product after they step off the plane can go visit our website. So we've just been able to touch a lot of areas, whether it's the sports world, the corporate world, obviously the everyday person who uses our patches just for a little energy boost, because one of the things that we have to give credit to as a company is this idea of extra energy via, Red Bull and 5 Hour Energy. Mm-hmm. And it absolutely does provide that. I think the science and even the known stories are out there that these products, dare I say it, might not be the healthiest for people. and but people still want that energy. So here we step into an area of business called the energy market, where we're able to supply it naturally, safely, with backed up science. We have kids wearing it in their little league, in their Pop Warner games. It's just been really that kind of meeting of moments in time that have really propelled us to the level we're at right now.
You know, I want to get into the patch itself. So it looks like obviously like a sticker, you know, for anyone to pick it up. So you just kind of stick it on your body. Tell me about what goes into this, because we just see like a sticker. It's cool. You put it on, but where is the vitamins in it? How does it absorb into it? Tell me about kind of maybe the science and the construction of the patch itself, and because we don't get to see it. You know, we just put on a sticker. We don't know what's in it. So tell me more about the inner working. How do you put it on to the sticker and all that? That we don't see.
So the do-it-yourselfers are going to love this next part of what we're talking about. So if you've ever put wallpaper on, you have to lay out the wallpaper, and then you have to, do the roller. You have to roll on the glue.
Mm-hmm.
The mixture of liquid thiamine with the adhesive and water is put on, a big, strip of the patch. And then it's heated and the water is dried out. So that all that is left is the adhesive and the thiamine. Now, the thiamine, or vitamin B1, is a very small molecule which can permeate the skin. Oddly enough, vitamin B12 does not permeate the skin, which is why people have to get vitamin B12 shots or injections.
Right.
Other things that are not permeable through the skin, certain acids are, like a vitamin C. However, because it's acid-based, if you wore the patch at the same spot all the time, the acid would cause a burning on the skin. So there are just certain things that are not applicable via the transdermal technology. But vitamin B1 is a match made in heaven because it's water soluble. It goes in, the body can't get too much of it. The adhesive molecule that we use is very similar to a Johnson & Johnson water soluble adhesive base. So we haven't even had issues with rashes or any skin conditions, because that's the only thing theoretically that could be for a person is a topical, not like a peanut allergy where it's internal. You got to rush to the hospital. More topical rash or redness where a little bit of, the Jergens lotion, whatever lotion, it would just go away. But we haven't really even had that. So the thiamine basically just gets absorbed through the skin because every skin cell has B1 in it. So B1 is, if you ever saw Terminator 2 where they blow up the liquid Terminator and then all the droplets kind of go back together, this is the thiamine is just getting absorbed into your skin cells, which is seeking more thiamine, has more thiamine. And then obviously one of the great trivia questions medically is, what's the largest organ of the body? And it's the dermis, the skin, which a lot of people don't know that skin is an organ. So so once it obviously gets into the skin, then it's just a short trip into the bloodstream, and now we're in business. Now it's the thiamine's in your blood. It's pumping from head to toe. It has it builds collagen. So for a person who's over 50, has my skin look. Pretty good.
Damn good. Better than mine.
Pretty good, yeah.
In my 30s, so.
Right. So we have just been able to really piggyback, because one of the things that we did, Jim, we didn't reinvent something diabolical in a lab. We took something that's kind of known and more or less perfected the delivery system of it, So you now have this life-giving, bodily function benefiting attachment on you for 5 or 6 hours. And that's really game-changing, because it's so simple to use. And because we do put, these great logos. I was just looking for another one like here. So I'll show you this real quick to the camera. So this is Shaw's Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So I'll put a patch behind it. There's the white aspect of it. So, here's a charitable organization that we do. That QR code, he'll do a golf outing and the celebrities and the attendees will scan it and they could donate to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation instantly off their phone. done is but they're getting the vitamin while they're playing golf. So they're feeling better while they're out there in the hot sun playing 18 holes. And we've just combined this marketing component with the science of it. And it's just been, it's been really a blessing, because every day I never know who's going to show me a new application. We get a phone call and says, hey, so-and-so from the Falcons wants to wear the patch. Now we have Deidre Sanat, nose tackle, wearing the patches from the Falcons. And, of course, continuing to talk to Montrezl Harrell, who had him in the bubble. And, again, I mentioned to you already, Tim Hardaway Jr. coming on shortly. So we're just very, very blessed that the athletes have endorsed our product to other fellow athletes. And then they, are comfortable being a part of our company.
As far as the patch itself, where do you put it? Anywhere on your body? Where can you put it? Do you repeat a spot? If you're putting it on a bicep, do you keep on putting it there? And how long do you keep it on technically?
Yeah, great question. So because there's no chemical, and we mentioned nothing burning or something like that, you do not have to move it around. You could put it in the same area that's comfortable to you.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that goes, is you can put the patch on your forehead or the bottom of your foot and everywhere in between. As long as it's touching the skin, it is going to absorb. Now, you do want to put it, if you're an athlete, in a place that has like low flexion. Like obviously if you put it right here, and sometimes people trying to do us a favor, try and put the patch here so it can be seen because their sleeves come up here. And I said, don't worry about putting it there, because as you bend, you can take it off, even though patch is designed to stick on. For a sweaty athlete, we have swimmers who wear it, track athletes. But if you put it on the flat of the arm or the bicep or the thigh or the stomach or the back, someplace with low flexion, the patch won't come off. As far as when you can wear it, we need Thiamine 24/7. Anyone in a stressful job, anyone in a athletic field, they burn Thiamine at 2 to 3 times the normal rate of just a regular person. So you can't get too much of it, no toxicity. So a patch a day. The patch itself will absorb within 4 to 6 hours, but the dosage, 75 milligrams, is actually a full day's dose. So once the patch, and again, you see where the patch is fully white here, the thiamine's in it. But then if you look on my arm, you can almost see it's starting to go clear.
Yeah.
As the patch goes, as the thiamine goes into your system, what really looks like, and the reason why we brand these with some pretty cool logos, is it looks like a stick-on tattoo. I remember as a kid, I wore them. I bought them for my kids. When I take my kids to the Giant games, they put the MY on the cheek and all that. So all of these kinds of things are kind of cool factor. But after 6 hours, the thiamine's absorbed. You can take it off. The dosage is uploaded, and you can put a fresh one on the next day. But they are waterproof, so if you go out to the beach, they won't come off. You work out and then take a shower, and you just put a fresh one on, it won't come off. So we pretty much have people wearing our patches anywhere from 4 to 8 hours a day.
How do you know? Because obviously you don't have a feeling, doesn't give you any sensations or anything, right? You wouldn't know it's even on you. How do you know that it's working? What sort of results? Like, how do you know, and how long does it take to start feeling or noticing a difference that the patch is doing the work? So when would you kind of know, or what sort of
such an excellent that is such an excellent question. It is not an artificial stimulant. So to your point, if you have some coffee, Coca-Cola, a 5 Red Bull, you feel it right away, but your body's reacting to it. This is very subtle. Now, if you are run down and you put the patch on, in a half hour, you will feel better. So that's very, tangible. But if you know your routine, if you're a person who's working 9 to 5, you're taking the New York subways home, or anywhere in America, traffic, or you're an athlete, or even just, a person who likes to go to the gym, stay in shape, you do the same 1 hour workout, and you always know that the last 15 minutes of your workout, that's when you're doing your crunches, or that's when you're doing, leg lifts. You will notice, if you know your routine and you know your body, as you start adopting the patch into your routine, into your daily life, just notice I'm a little stronger through this end of this workout. I noticed a little more locked in. It's amazing how the light bulb goes off. One of the things we spoke about with Coach Lynn was, when he first started wearing the patches, it was that part of the season where they were doing talent evaluation for the draft. And he'd be watching film till 1 a.m. I mean, just watching it, on different players and people who they might want to draft. And I remember him saying, he'd be, drinking the coffee and the jitter. He's on his 10th cup of coffee, whatever it is. And once he met us, he started putting the patch on and just noticed the difference right away. Now he's got the same energy. He's also locked in and focused without visiting the restroom, because one of the things that caffeine does is a diuretic. You're going to restroom, you're going to be urinating quite frequently. So those parts of your life where you know what you do regularly, and then you introduce the patch into it, you'll know. But to your point, unless you're already a little under the weather, a little, beaten up, no, it's not that instant snap, whatever. But if you do have that, and you are sluggish, and you are a little jet lagged, if you flew cross country, put a patch on, yes, then it is very palpable. You do feel it. Other than that, it's very subtle. But the good news is completely all natural. It's putting it into your system. You again, locked in is what I use it for. Still got the chubby cheeks. I was an athlete once upon a time. Me, I'm using it more to, again, I have meetings, morning, noon, and night, and I give someone the same attention, courtesy, enthusiasm at a 7 o'clock meeting that I did at a 9 a.m. meeting. And I absolutely say this as a user, not as a CEO of the company trying to, push out a message. It makes a difference in my life. I've been wearing them a decade, and I swear by them because of what it does for me, not because of the benefits of the company. I swear by them as a product. I really do.
Mm-hmm. And how much, do you know what the dosage is in each patch?
It's 75 milligrams plus or minus 5 milligrams, because again, as I mentioned to you, you're rolling it out on a roller in a mixture. It's like trying to count chocolate chips in a Chips Ahoy cookie. One you might have 20 chips, one might have 18, one might have 22, but they obviously mix enough chips in the batter that you can be rest assured you're getting a certain amount. So it's 75 milligrams in our FDA lab test that we've had to send to teams or to players to validate that there's only thiamine. We always get a different report, 67, 69, 72, 79, 81, it's somewhere in that middle. So 75 is basically the number that's pushed out publicly, but it's plus or minus 5 milligrams either way.
Makes sense. And how much of the daily dose for thiamine do you get from a patch? Is it like 100% of a daily dose or more? Like if you're taking vitamins, for example, for specifically vitamin C, this vitamin has 100% of it. How much do you get of the thiamine or the B1?
Yeah. So the recommended dose is like, 10 to 14 for a regular person. So it obviously way extends that.
Yeah.
Although scientists and doctors have been saying that they think, because those studies were done over 30 years ago, that they may actually be off on that. The FDA is saying that 2/3 of all Americans under the age of 50 have a thiamine deficiency because they are eating shellfish and other products that take thiamine out of the system. There's just more and more science coming out. But for an athlete or someone, again, in a highly competitive job, because stress is another component that instantly takes thiamine out of the bloodstream, if you're taking it 3 times the normal rate, you need, and we're talking even 14 is accurate, which they're saying is not accurate, you need more, but 14 times 3 is 42. So already you need 42 to 50 milligrams. And remember that out of the 70 milligrams, 75 milligrams in the patch, it's a 92% upload. So in other words, not every single drop of thiamine leaves the patch. It's just not possible to have every drop come out. But for the most part, most of it comes out of the patch into your system. So again, it is a full dose and then some, but because your body applies excess thiamine to cognitive function, to skin healing, wound care, you can't get too much. I mean, I'm not saying it because of me. I'm talking about Harvard studies. We actually have, right on our website, if you click on links to the Mayo Clinic, National Institute of Health, they validate that the more thiamine your body gets, the more your body applies to other functions of the body. I mean, I can show you articles from NYU where high doses of thiamine improve people's eyesight. So they give the thiamine for to reduce cataracts. So there's just so much tangible published science about thiamine that yeah, you're getting a full dose and then some, and you can wear one every day with confidence that you're only doing good and not any harm.
So one is technically recommended. You don't have to go for 2 patches in a day, or unless you really.
Unless you're 250-pound lineman in the
Yeah.
NFL, and you do have to wear two because it's just so much, to absorb. And I'm
Right.
not kidding. We do recommend our offensive linemen and our defensive linemen. Snacks Harrison of the Giants famously wore our patches. If you look at our website, there's a picture of him right on Monday Night Football. Beautiful patch on his bicep against the Cowboys. And again, he has one patch on his arm that's to the camera, but he's wearing two patches. Guys who are 250 pounds and above, athletically, they are wearing two in a day, not one. Yeah. But other than that, regular person, yeah, one a day is more than sufficient.
Well, you're doing a heck of a thing. I mean, it's clearly taking off. I mean, if you have such great endorsements from top athletes, they wouldn't be wearing it if it was nothing in that case. So
Absolutely right. And I will tell you one other thing that's really kind of most exciting. Even though we have athletes work with us and earn revenue through their relationship with our company, and we're excited to build out that revenue stream as high as possible for them, they are not paid to wear the patch. So whereas Nike pays, X amount of dollars to a player, LeBron James, 10 million wear our sneaker, or Adidas or whatever it is, there is not a single athlete between all the 200 pro athletes, some of them who have Nike deals, Adidas deals, Gatorade deals. We do not pay them a single penny to wear the patch. They're all wearing it electively of their own validity, that they believe it helps their performance, their recovery, their output in the game, in practice. And that's the biggest compliment, because anyone could say, hey, here's a check for 50,000, wear this patch and say, it's the greatest thing since the shoelace. And most athletes, I hate to say it, they do, they wear it. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying we're able to rest on our own merit as a product of endorsement. And then once we know that we have an athlete who is endorsing our product, yes, we absolutely seek opportunities with them, signings at Dick's Sporting Goods, Instagram posts and other means of giving them revenue. But none of it is derived from wearing the patch. That is of their own choice. And that is probably our biggest endorsement to the public, that they're wearing it electively.
Fantastic. Well, this is cool. I mean, I got a few samples. I got one right now. This is my second day of wearing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I love it.
I just put it on to it sticks. There's nothing you can do.
No, it'll stick. As long as you put it on a flat surface, it'll stay.
Yeah. And you don't feel it
training for the Olympics.
In your skin. It's very comfortable to wear. I'll say that. So
Thank you.
Going through. So yeah, I got the view on. I'm going to go do a workout. So I tried one yesterday for the first time, and it stayed all day long. And today this is my second attempt at it. So.
And that's the thing, as you wear it and you do your normal day, that's when the light bulb will go off on day 3, day 4. Unless, again, you had a sluggish day and you put it on, then you'll notice it right away. But you'll just be like, you know what, I usually am dragging on Friday. By the end of the week, I just feel better. You'll notice it right away. But I do want to get the website out there.
Yes. I was just going to say.
BuyB1.com, BUY, the letter B, the number 1.com. Visit us. We're very transparent. We answer questions all day long. We have live chat available for anybody that comes on our site. The pictures of the athletes are there, their own words, their own endorsement is there. We have links to the medical community. We have some videos. So, we really want to earn people's respect and earn business. We're marketing it, but we're not marketing it in a way in which we're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We're marketing it, dare I say, with truth. Here's the truth of what it is. Here's the truth of what it does. Try it for yourself, and that's really what we're going to stick to as a company, and just continue to follow that philosophy to earn our clients respect and trust. And we feel, we're well on our way, and we got a long way to go, but we're excited, where we're headed.
Yeah, so far what you said, pretty much truth in my experience, the limited time I wore it, so it sticks right, it feels cool, and it looks cool too, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. We have people who make their own, vanity patch, we have people who put their business logo on it, and that's the other part of it that is really the game changer for us, because there are other products that want to compete against us, but no one has the client. I mean, Madison Square Garden's used the patches. Berkshire Hathaway, talking about the wealthiest man in the world, has put his logo on our patch. Viacom, NBC. These are billion-dollar brands. BMW, billion-dollar brands have trusted us enough to put their logo on our patch and distribute it to their customers and clients. And that's probably the greatest compliment we've had so far, because as you know, they have a lot to protect. God forbid they give a product and someone got sick or something happened. They're not just going to sue us. They're going to sue, BMW or Chevy or whoever else put their logo on the patch. And we're, coming up on our 9th year, millions distributed worldwide. And, knock on wood, have never had a single issue. And our corporate list, in addition to our athlete list, just continues to grow.
Hey, I'm about this. So I love the sound of it. I like what it stands for. And so far I'm using it myself. So if you have any other samples, I'd love to pass it on to my friends or family. If you have any more.
Oh, my pleasure. I'll get some out to you. We love it. Well, the biggest thing for us, additional to any kind of marketing, is word of mouth.
Yep.
Because obviously that's sincere, right? You tell a relative or a coworker, they're going to trust you more than anything that they see from us. Even though what we're pushing out there is, science-based, the reality is there's nothing better than someone personally saying, I wore it, I felt better, you got to try it.
Absolutely. That's how you build trust. That's how I personally would like to be informed about a product or really that's a selling point for me, is if someone I know, recommends it or tries it, or, that's trustworthy, that you can't
Agreed.
That's
Agreed. That's the best way.
Yep.
I'm grateful for you giving us a platform to, share what we're doing with, your public, your fans, your viewers. And, we're just continuing to do our job. And it's moments like this that help our company grow. So thank you.
Hey, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. This is cool. And I'm looking forward to my continued use and pay attention and see the notices. So far, no negative things. So only
I appreciate it. Well, listen, I don't know if we have permission to use Real Talk logo, whatever it is, but if you want, send me a logo. Next batch I send you some customs.
Oh, that's awesome. I can send you absolutely a logo. That'd be awesome. I'd love it.
Yeah, and we'll put a QR code so anyone who you give the patch to, when they scan it, it'll go right to your link. The interviews and the videos come up on their phone instantly. That's
awesome. Let's make this happen. That's so cool, Derek.
You got it, brother. Well, thank you, man. Thank you again, and look forward to talking to you real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time. Love it.
Anytime. All right.
Take care.